Good morning and welcome to this virtual convocation. Not quite the same. Lots of things aren't quite the same, but I hope that you can feel some positive energy and a sense of reunion where you are this morning. Please know that many thoughts and prayers are with each of you as schools reopen this year, and in so many ways there is a renewed respect and appreciation for educators and for schools. And that's a little silver lining to everything our nation and the world has gone through in the last several months. At the beginning of each and every school year, I read and refocus on a quote by Chaim Junot. As I read it, please don't get hung up on the title of teacher. Consider that this quote can apply to all of us regardless of title or position. Please listen carefully. I've come to a frightening conclusion that I am the decisive element in the classroom. It's my personal approach that creates the climate. It's my daily mood that makes the weather. As a teacher, I possess a tremendous power to make a child's life miserable or joyous. I can be a tool of torture or an instrument of inspiration. I can humiliate or heal. In all situations, it is my response that decides whether a crisis will be escalated or de-escalated, and a child humanized or dehumanized. The children coming to us this year need us more than ever. Of course, there will be academic gaps to identify and close on top of the normal standards and skills to teach. Some students will have social and emotional needs and even trauma that requires our attention and support. There will be confusion about things students have heard, seen, and experienced in the last several months. Some may feel uncertain and even fearful. Our nation is more polarized about everything than I have ever known, from politics to race relations to COVID, but we still have the power to create the climate in our schools. We must focus on healing, de-escalating, humanizing, inspiring, and finding joy, just as this quote reminds us. We get to show students how things should be in the real world so that the real world can be a better place as these students grow up and become our next generation of leaders. To each and every one of you, thank you for all that you do and for all that you will do. It does matter. As we kick off Convocation, I wish you the best for a smooth school year, but most of all, best wishes for the most meaningful, impactful year of your life. I'll now turn it over to Mr. Dub Potts from our school board.
Good morning. My, how I wish I could be there with you and shake your hand and tell you what an exciting, joyful year this is going to be, but unfortunately we're not able to do that, and so we are glad that we can connect by virtual means. And so while we're in this constant changing world, let us in prayer go to the one who is constant in our lives. Would you bow with me, please? Lord, we come to you today with a grateful heart, thanking you for the opportunities to share with some of the most wonderful, lovable people in the world. We're blessed to be in Davie County because these are people who demonstrate love, joy, peace, gentleness, goodness, patience, self-control, faithfulness, kindness, and much more. Father, we say thank you for all those who have worked together to put the plans in place for the 2020-21 school year. For our custodians, our maintenance, our bus transportation, child nutrition department, our special population staff, school building administration, our teachers and teacher assistants, our central office staff, our administrative support folks, the technology department, and probably many others that I'm not thinking about who work behind the scenes to make sure that things go well. We're thankful for those who work directly with children, whether virtually or physically. Guide them and protect them from harm and evil and even, yes, the COVID-19. May we all work together and focus on what's good for those who we lead and make decisions for our children. May this system be one that accepts all children and challenges all to be united. I pray you might protect our staff from COVID-19. When our children want to give a hug, Lord, I pray that you might provide a means for the adults to share their love back to the child that would be accepting and pleasing to the child. Finally, Lord, thank you for the parents who send us the very best they have. May our parents be reassured that their child is in good hands and that their child will be cared for as if they were our own flesh and blood. Father, I pray you might forgive us for our shortcomings and bless us for our efforts. I ask these things so that we can be pleasing to you. Amen.
Welcome. I really wish that we were together this morning. Besides graduation, this is always one of my favorite events. So much excitement. So, once again, we adapt. When I was thinking about what to say today, many words came to mind that I want to share and probably forget. Adapting, Zoom, Google Hangouts, social distancing, the new normal, plan A, B, or C, uncertain times, pandemic, droplets, virtual instruction, and everyone's favorite, brick and mortar. Bottom line, this sucks. Just being honest. It sucks for everyone. Students, staff, parents, staff that are parents. What the public schools did, what you did before all of this was amazing. Now let's throw a pandemic on top of it. And how about an earthquake, just to make sure that everyone's paying attention? With all of this, you guys continue to step up and serve your community. We all want answers and guarantees, and it seems like with every day that passes, all we get are more questions and less guarantees. I do know this. I would not trade our team with any other district, which reminds me of one other word that I want to share that describes the public school system. That is essential. I appreciate what you do. I thank you for what you do. Keep up the great work and keep caring for one another. Davie County is special in many ways, one of which is the support that the community gives the school system. We are blessed to have so many organizations going out of their way to make a difference. We are now going to hear from two of them, Davie Community Foundation and the United Way. We will hear an update on Ignite Davie and the United Way campaign. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Carolyn McManamy, and I'm one of the Ignite Davie partners. At last year's convocation, it was my pleasure to introduce you to our Ignite Davie College Promise program. It's been quite a year since our announcement, and I think we can all agree much has changed. But through extraordinary efforts of student services at the high school and DCCC staff, the class of 2020 learned about the incredible opportunity to continue their education without incurring debt. And while we were out in the community raising awareness and money, they met with every senior and made sure that our students knew about Ignite Davie. And for this, they deserve our sincere appreciation, because today we are so excited to announce that on August 17th, over 60 Davie County students will begin their college career at DCCC because of Ignite Davie. They are studying business administration, nursing, welding, and several are in the transfer program with plans to go on to a 4-year university. Some of these students are the first generation to attend college in their family. So as you can imagine, we're pretty excited about this first class. And we are extremely proud of Ignite Davie because it puts education at the very center of our community. We know it will have a profound effect on our students and the community overall. It's already impacting the lives of 60 students. And we anticipate Ignite Davie will continue to grow each year as more and more students choose to take advantage of this wonderful opportunity. So as we're out continuing our efforts to raise awareness and money, we're asking everyone in Davie County to commit to our kids. We're only halfway to our goal of $3 million to ensure that Ignite Davie is available for future generations. And reaching our goal is so very important. So we've made donating as simple as possible. Contributions can be done through ignitedavie.com on the donate page or in the upcoming United Way campaign. Many of you donated to Ignite Davie last year. And to you, we say thank you, thank you, thank you for your commitment to our kids. This year, the United Way has simplified their campaign, and they will now offer direct designations to Ignite Davie. Any amount of pledge will help us reach our goal. Think about it. There are 800 of you. Imagine if each of you donated $5 a month. That would make a pretty big impact toward reaching our goal. So as you consider your giving this year, we ask you to commit to our kids and support Ignite Davie. We hope you have a fantastic year. And most of all, we want to say thank you. Thank you for what you do for our students and our community. You guys are awesome, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for your time.
As we start this school year, we're doing it all together differently. I'm thinking about how I'll drop my children off, put their mask on, and send them into your loving arms. I think about how they'll sit in front of a computer and do school the way they did for the last few months of last year. It's a whole new world, and what we need most are brave individuals on the front lines to reassure our children that their education is not only important, but it provides safety and security. Thank you for what you're doing to make that happen for children all over our county. As the Executive Director of the United Way, my challenge is to come to you and let you know you're not alone in what we do. First of all, I want to say thank you for your generosity that you have provided in years past, and thank you for everything that you're planning to do to help our children this year. As we come to you in arms, hand in hand, partner agencies alongside the United Way to let you know that if there's a health crisis at home, if there's educational issues not only now, but as children plan for their future, or if there's financial instability, we stand ready to serve you. We've also made it easier for you to get through the donation process at United Way this year. Our totally virtual campaign means that you go online at davieunitedway.org and you simply fill out your pledge forms online. No more paperwork to have to fill out, no more paperwork to have to keep up with. Your time is exceedingly valuable, and we want it spent helping our children. So thank you in advance for everything that you plan on doing to help the United Way, and thank you for what you're doing for our children.
Good morning and welcome back. First of all, thank you very much for being here, or not physically here. As you've already heard this morning, we would love to be with you. As Chairman Junker said, the Convocation is often one of the most exciting moments that we have during the year, with all the energy and the opportunity to see each of you. But due to the circumstances, we can't do that, but we are coming to you virtually. I'd like to say thank you to our Board of Education, Chairman Junker, Vice Chair Wendy Horn, Mr. Dub Potts, Paul Dressler, Terry Hales, Lori Smith, and David Carroll. Your collective leadership, input, questions, and guidance have provided outstanding support as we've approached the reopening of school. I want to say a sincere thank you to our district staff. This pandemic catapulted our district leadership into an area that we've never been before. But I want to sincerely thank you for your willingness, your heart, and your effort, and you've demonstrated great resolve while remaining focused on the safety of our staff and our students and learning as we move forward with reopening schools. On March the 16th, Governor Roy Cooper closed school buildings for students, and directed LEAs to prepare a remote learning plan in 2 weeks. That was quite the task. Little did we know when the doors closed for students on March the 16th, that that's the way the school year would end. We had so many opportunities lost, so many memories that we will not be able to recapture due to this pandemic. Seniors that have graduated, not current seniors, but seniors that graduated, I want to say that I'm sorry to you. This is not the way it's supposed to be. And to your parents as well. I'm sorry it happened. but we must move on. In June, districts transitioned from closing school to reopening school. We had to completely rebuild what was a remote learning plan to become a remote instruction plan. The curriculum team also had to develop a Jumpstart summer learning plan that has gone on throughout the summer for some of our children rising 1st through 5th graders, and also for some of our 6th through 12th graders, we provided additional opportunities for assistance in learning. The staff did a great job, and I want you all to know that the way the school year ended, building a plan in 2 weeks, will not be what we do moving forward. I have often challenged, and we sat around in multiple meetings, but early on, as we were planning, we talked, and I used the metaphor, I said, staff, we're not building the railroad from North Carolina to the Mississippi River and stopping. We're building to the Mississippi River now to get us through the current situation, but we're also building the railroad or planning the railroad to take us to the West Coast. And I hope that's the attitude that we continue with. There's no doubt that we cannot go back. And there's no doubt that what we've done and the effort that's been put forward with building and planning cannot be put away. How do we become better because of the situation that we are in? Also in June, the staff were charged with developing 3 different plans, as already been mentioned, Plan A, B, or C. Those plans are starkly different. Therefore, it's 3 individual plans. I can stand before you today and humbly say, and proudly say, that Davie County Schools is ready to move between Plan A, B, or C. Many of you have contributed to the plans that are in place and that will continue to evolve and be carried out. There have been multiple surveys, multiple conversations. There have been questions, suggestions, sometimes directives, strong questioning, heartfelt concerns, and we appreciate that. All of those things helped us to design the plans that are in place and will be carried out. I want to say a special thank you to Suzanne Wright, who is the Director of Davie County Health and Human Services. She has provided a wonderful input and constantly being willing to be available to talk with us. County Manager John Eller, also a local physician, have taken part in developing these plans. As we begin the school year, no doubt there's fear, there's unrest, and we're not quite sure what we will face. What we do know is what science has told us about wearing a face mask and socially distancing. We also know that schools are good for children. We know that schools are good for adults. We know that families need choices. There are unique and different situations. We clearly understand that. That's why we have an option. And when the curriculum team put together the Davie County Schools virtual, we have nearly 1,000 students that will be participating in that opportunity. During a recent 2-day workshop, or work session, not a workshop, a work session, with principals and administrators, I challenged them, and I referenced Conquistador Cortez that landed in Mexico in 1519. What's the modern-day Mexico, near Mexico City. Shortly after their landing in Mexico, Cortez heard rumors about about a mutiny and some of his staff or some of his crews trying to leave. He destroyed the ships. Why? What's the point there? Obviously, there's much more that you could unpack historically there. But if retreat is an option, then your commitment is impaired. I'm going to say that again. If retreat is an option, if we can go back, then our commitment to moving forward will be impaired. I challenged our administrators to destroy the ships. We can't go back to pre-COVID. The whole world is dealing with this. So how do we move forward? We move forward by sticking to our purpose, redoing, reworking how we move forward. Our purpose is children. Our purpose is education, and our commitment must not be impaired by the continuous looking backwards. Sure, there are things that we will never want to go away. There are things that we want to be brought back before us and have the opportunities. As I mentioned, seniors. Yes, we want our hallways full of children and full of staff. Absolutely. And I feel confident we will return there at some point. But we must remain committed to moving forward and educate children in a different manner and offer them opportunities. And as we always say, meet them right where they are and move forward. One of our primary focuses in all of the planning has been the safety and education of everyone involved, parents, staff, and students. We need to make sure that as we move forward, that we know how to eliminate barriers. Over the summer, I've been intentional about learning myself and growing and looking at different leaders that have been very successful in difficult times. In a recent Leadership Panels podcast, Dr. Henry Cloud interviewed Joel Peterson, the CEO of JetBlue Airline. He told a story about his father. He said, in a time of crisis, true leaders will look for opportunities and optimism. And they questioned him, where did this come from? Peterson said his father fought in World War II. He was a bomb disposal officer. The panel chuckled. What is that? He said oftentimes when bombs would hit or there would be danger or fear of bombs, most people would be running away. He referenced it as a fire. Most people would run from the fire. He said, my father ran toward the fire. We're facing a fire, symbolically. We're facing difficult times. His dad told Joel Peterson, he said, son, if you want to be a leader, a real leader, you got to be okay and willing to run to the fire. But don't just run to the fire. Find the optimism. Find the opportunities. And that's what I challenge you to do now. That we find opportunities and meet the needs of our children. Unfortunately, there's another problem, another pandemic-like in our society, and that's hate and racism. It has no place. As Ms. Haynes has already referenced, how divided we are. You know, we have a choice whether we're divided or not. We choose to be divided. We make a strong stance. We are very symbolic. Schools are symbolic. I reference one of my favorite authors, Lee Bowman and Terry Deal. And they talk about how you approach difficult situations. And one of the things they talk about is when people are confused or people are scared, they create or look for symbols to offer them peace, to offer them hope and faith. I will address that in one moment here. I want to get back to that. Over the summer, I've also spent hours meeting and talking and growing and learning and how to address the hate and racism that we're facing, that there's no place for. I've met with students, parents, mentors of mine, other leaders that face this fire every day. There's a couple of messages that I want you all to hear that came from our students and from our parents. Our children feel safe at school. Our children feel like they're loved. But what they do want are adults to step in. When there are problems, when there are racist acts, when there are acts of hate, they want adults to step in. They want us to make it loud and clear that that is not acceptable. That's been the same thing that I learned, the same type of things that I got from my mentors as well. We also, during the summer, formed a safe and secure district-wide committee. And we met 2 or 3 times over the summer to develop plans to make sure that we address some of the things, some of the issues of hate and racism, to build in lessons, to build in plans, to start student groups. I've met with Mike Absher, Tim Devricks, and Perry Long on a couple of different occasions. Met with a student group just last week. Again, we have plans to start a group of young men and women, athletes and non-athletes, to talk about difficult issues. Back to asking you to be future focused. One of the things I want you to understand is we will be a one-to-one device for children in grades 6 through 12 moving forward. I expect that we will offer some means of a virtual school or virtual opportunity moving forward. I don't anticipate and hope, unless it's needed, that it's as large as it is now, but that's due to force because of the pandemic. Our children in grades 2 through 12 will also receive a device, and K1 will receive an iPad as needed. But again, we will move forward with the one-to-one device plan because we've been forced, I used the word catapulted earlier, into a new place. The challenge is to embrace it and to adapt and to make it a good place. 2020-2021 school year is starting like no other. We're living in a pandemic that will undoubtedly generate more changes. From two of my favorite authors that I referenced, Bowman and Deal, I'll give you the full quote now because I butchered it a moment ago. When we are facing uncertainty and ambiguity, people create symbols to resolve confusion, find direction, and anchor hope and faith. Schools are profoundly symbolic in providing hope and faith. Will we respond correctly to the COVID crisis and the social unrest and provide the love and grace that is necessary? Mr. Potts remembered or prayed and referenced the hugs of children. Will we be those anchors? Will we provide that love and grace? Oftentimes, I look for what I call deposits. Many times, people that serve, the individuals that serve others, if you're in the profession of serving others, we have withdrawals very often. This morning, I went by the factory for a good cup of coffee. Ran into one of our staff members. She walked out the door and had one of her children with her. That was a tremendous deposit. In a moment, I could revision or recapture. That's what this is about. Adults, that's exactly what this is about. We have a responsibility to take care of those children. We're educators. I challenged you a year ago. We're teachers. That's all that needs to be said. We're educators. We've committed ourselves to serving those children. And by the way, that staff member had a wonderful attitude, ready to go to work, and I know her well. And she loves her children that are in her classroom every year. And she also loves her personal children for sure. I close with these final thoughts. Over the summer, people often ask me how I was doing. I could tell them, okay, because of a strong team that I am willing to lean on, and they're willing to lean on each other. From Exodus, if you recall, there was a story about Moses. The Israelites were taking on the Amalekites. Moses was directed to stand and hold up his staff. And as long as he held up his staff, the Israelites prevailed. Moses, no doubt, grew tired. Then Aaron and Hur came and supported and lifted up Moses' arms. There will be times this year when my arms will go tired. Your arms will go tired. There are times this year when I need to reach in and lean in and help others. I'm asking you to do that. I'm asking you to be vulnerable and humble and lean in on people and let them lean in on you. This year will bring great challenges, no doubt. And no doubt we will get tired. But lean on each other. And please remember that we are much stronger together. And so in that, And again, I mentioned that we have a choice. So we will be purchasing a T-shirt for everyone this year that shows unity through adversity. You will be receiving one of these. I hope you wear it proudly. But more importantly, I hope you make the effort to provide unity, to care, and to love for our children. I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate you. We're all in this together, and we will keep fighting together. Thank you.
And now for the stars of the year. I have to say, of all school years, everyone deserves to be celebrated. But there are a few stars that we must recognize this morning, and I hope that you will cheer for them where you are. We'd like to start by recognizing all of our bus drivers of the year. These folks are the first and the last ones to see our students, and they do a tremendous job. So please help me celebrate Rachel Morse, Neil Davis, Christina Hillard, Dinah Beck, Faye Grant, Jessica Searcy, Terry Burke, Joey Anderson, Jason Davis, I'm sorry, I said that wrong, Jason Jackson, and Odell Reinhardt. One of these fine drivers has become the school's go-to person because he is flexible and willing to work long hours to drive any shuttle, route, or trip as needed. He assists new bus drivers and builds relationships with students on all of the buses at this school. Congratulations to Mr. Jason Jackson, the District Bus Driver of the Year from William Ellis Middle School. The next star is our Transportation Person of the Year. The winner this year is described as humble, dedicated, smart, and dependable. The greatest thing is his attitude. His supervisor says his attitude is gold. He has worked under tremendous pressure and stress this summer, building and rebuilding bus routes, working unbelievable hours to figure out A-B days for Plan B. Please join me in congratulating Eric Grider, Transportation Person of the Year, a very timely and well-deserved recognition. This year's Custodial Team of the Year is presented to a team that takes pride in their school. They have faced many hardships and challenges, and they take care of the largest campus in our district, the school that never shuts down. I am proud to announce that the Custodial Team of the Year belongs to Davie County High School. Bob Bailey, Stephanie McDougall, Dale Davis, Tabitha Spillman, Bobby Davis, Courtney McCabe, Ronnie Armstrong, Karina Carper, and Lenny Lewis. Congratulations, team. This year's Maintenance Star of the Year goes to a deserving young man who has actually been chosen by his colleagues in the department. He is always willing to do whatever it takes to get the job done. Congratulations to Matt Smith, the Maintenance Star of the Year. The School Nutrition Manager of the Year is Kristen Bryant. She is super hardworking, has a positive attitude, is easy to work with, and has a heart for kids and for serving her community. During the COVID closure this year, she was a true inspiration, advocating passionately about providing meals for children. Congratulations to Kristen Bryant from South Davie Middle School. The School Nutrition Person of the Year is Karen Barnhart from North Davie. Her manager said that she comes to work every day with a positive attitude and is very diligent in her work, working quietly and carefully to complete every task and always looking for ways to help others. During the daunting task of emergency feeding, she made sure that sanitation and safety measures were prioritized for the safety of students, parents, and her coworkers. Karen, thank you for your long-standing service and congratulations on a well-deserved award. The Student Services Person of the Year goes to a social worker who is dedicated to assisting students, families, and staff in any way that she can. Her dedication, sincerity, and passion to help others is amazing. Congratulations to Ms. Andrea Collins. Our EC-related Services Person of the Year strives to support teachers so that our students can learn and grow in all areas. Ms. Jennifer Kasserick is extremely knowledgeable, but humble and always willing to help any way she can. Congratulations, Jennifer. The EC Teacher of the Year is Miss Kaylin Royals. Kaylin is a leader and is amazing with children who learn in a different way. She meets the need and helps all of her children grow. Congratulations to Kaylin from Kernatzer Elementary School. The Office Professional of the Year is Dina Roberts from North Davie. As data manager, she is always up for a challenge and knows how to get things done seamlessly, in a timely manner, and with a positive attitude. She genuinely cares about each student and exemplifies what we all want in a Davie County Schools employee. Congratulations, Dina. For our Administrator of the Year, when the March 13th shutdown had an impact on so many people, Mr. George Selecki, District Director of School Nutrition, led his team to new heights, starting to feed students across the county in only one business day. The number of meals served and the hours worked by his staff is incomprehensible. I believe over 500,000 meals served now. He is a leader that has been seen on multiple occasions with his sleeves rolled up, working right alongside his staff, doing whatever it takes to feed our students. Congratulations, George. And I did hear a little bit of applause in the background. The Assistant Principal of the Year goes to a deserving candidate who always builds strong, positive relationships and who has stepped up in so many ways, willing to fill whatever need and grow as a leader, if that means changing schools a few months into the school year, taking on van monitors for the district, and participating in Leadership Davie. Sam Brown is a hard worker who always stays positive and sets an example for others to follow. Congratulations to Sam from William R. Davie Elementary. The Principal of the Year is known for being an instructional leader who has been instrumental in building a positive school culture. She is visible and present in all aspects of the school and has high expectations, but is always professional, positive, and encouraging. Congratulations to Ms. Sarah Meyer from Shady Grove. Our Beginning Teacher of the Year. If you had walked into this BT's classroom or perused her online classes last spring, you would have never known that it was her first year. She builds strong relationships with students and families. She encourages and incorporates a wide variety of strategies to ensure her students' success. She does not shy away from difficult situations, but truly models perseverance and resilience, both in personal and professional endeavors. Congratulations to Miss Laura Byrne Mulligan. Let's take a moment to recognize all of our Teacher Assistants of the Year. These folks are some of our unsung heroes in our schools, but we are so thankful for them. Please applaud them on site. Brenda Hollifield, Beth Cheek, Laura Dunaway, Jamie Carter, Janice McBride, Marisol Ruano Vargas, Randy Athey, Colleen Pitts, Casey Dillo, and Elisa Allen. The District Teacher Assistant of the Year goes to Janice McBride from Moxville. Janice is a very dependable and is always looking for opportunities to learn all that she can to better serve students. She works diligently to build positive relationships with individual students to encourage them in their learning. Thank you, Janice, and congratulations. Now I will turn it over to Ms. Jennifer Line to announce the Teachers of the Year and our District Teacher of the Year.
Last but definitely not least, we want to recognize a talented group of individuals selected as each school's Teacher of the Year for 2020-21. Davie County Preschool, Stephanie Nelson. Coolamy Elementary, Katherine Johnson. Kernatzer Elementary, Jane Wooten. Moxville Elementary, Casey Jones. Pinebrook, Tori Snow. Shady Grove, Kelly McGilvery. William R. Davie, Whitney Hamrick. North Davie, Debbie Whitehead. South Davie, Lori Culler. William Ellis, Pam Cook. Davie High, Michael Poller. Central Davie Academy, Donna Siegel. Davie County Early College, Angela Griffey. Congratulations to each of you. With such an incredible group of teachers, our selection committee had an extremely difficult task in choosing one person as our district Teacher of the Year. During interviews, we did recognize a consistent message that is definitely worth noting, especially in light of our current circumstances. Many of you mentioned a need for us as educators to look for ways more than ever to better ourselves and our schools, to be more solution-focused and proactive, as well as the absolute need to have a growth mindset and to be flexible. It's obvious why you were selected to be your school's Teachers of the Year. Before I announce this person's name, we definitely want to recognize and thank Flo Honda, and specifically Brian Nicolay, the General Manager, for providing a new Honda for our District Teacher of the Year to drive for the 2020-21 school year. Brian is waiting at the school to award that Honda now. The 2020-21 Davie County Schools District Teacher of the Year is Pam Cook at William Ellis Middle School. Congratulations to you, Pam. Very well deserved. I will definitely say that the actions and characteristics I mentioned earlier are modeled consistently by Pam Cook. She goes above and beyond as a teacher leader, meeting the needs of her students, serving her school and community, and being a lifelong learner. Again, congratulations to you, Pam. Very, very well deserved. And congratulations to you all again.
Hello. Okay.
All right, I'm taking y'all.
This is nervous.
You want me to hold it for you? You're welcome.
Pam Cook, congratulations on being this year's Teacher of the Year. It's an honor to give you this vehicle to share your skill set and all your gifts with the teachers around this community. Thank you for the opportunity, and I will see you in an hour to claim and do the paperwork on your new vehicle. Congratulations. Absolutely. Thank you. Get a picture or two. COVID breaking rules.
Good morning, and congratulations to all the stars of the year who have been recognized so far. When school abruptly ended in March, there was lots of talk about how life was rocked for students, their parents, but in hindsight, there really wasn't much talk about how much your lives had been rocked. Those of you who have chosen education as your line of work. Whether that be a teacher, a teacher's assistant, an administrator, school nurse, bus driver, cafeteria worker, or whatever your role and most importantly calling in the world of public education is, please know your Board of Education recognizes that your world has also been rocked. We are literally sitting at the start line of another school year that will be like no other. But before we officially say, on your mark, get set, go, I'd like to thank you. Thank you for choosing to serve, even when you are being asked to serve in the unknown. Thank you for choosing to be the light in a young person's life when you may be asking yourself, where do I even start? I often think about the families who have struggled over the past few months with remote learning. Some even tried to make light of a difficult situation with silly posts we've seen online about how parents struggled in their new professions as educators and how some students were expelled within the first couple days of their new schools. But as we stand at the start of this school year, I think more about the families and students who have been begging to see the doors of our schools open, no matter what that opening may look like. The child who doesn't have the emotional support at home, the family who has been living through the struggle of finding food to eat, the parents who don't have the option to be at home with their kids full-time because they're desperate to keep their jobs. You making the decision to come back and serve in whatever capacity you will be serving is what is bringing hope to these students and families, and we thank you. In closing, we've heard the reference to essential workers and heroes during this pandemic. I can think of no other profession that falls into those categories like all of you, the people who have chosen to serve in Davie County Schools. A few days ago, I read a Facebook post by a healthcare worker, and it was written for those of you who have chosen to serve in the field of education. You may have heard it, but I felt it was worth sharing. Dear school workers, we were terrified. We were not ready. We didn't know what was to come. We did not want to change our ways. We couldn't imagine what each day would look like. We were stressed, exhausted, overwhelmed, and anxious. But fast forward 5 months. We are okay. We have adapted. We are stronger together. We are essential. We feel our worth. We make a difference, and others know it. We are proud to go to work. Many of you are returning to work soon, and it is scary, but I promise it will be okay. Be flexible, be strong, be creative, and be proud. You are so needed, and remember that now more than ever before, kids need your love and support. You've got this, and this too shall pass. Whatever you're feeling, please know that you have our 100% support, and regardless of what this school year brings, you have already made us all Davie County proud. Thank you.